We'll let you know how our winner gets on in our autumn series. And by then, we hope there'll be a new British world champion.
These days, most cars, when they reach a certain age, seem to acquire an owners' club along the way. But have things got out of hand, I ask myself? You can understand enthusiasts drooling over rare birds like Jowett Javelins and Armstrong Sidleys, and even such motoring milestones as Morris Minors. But here at Temple Newsome in Leeds, things have really gone berserk, because this is a meeting of the Morris Marina Owners Club. With nearly 400 members, the club's thriving. The Marina was considered boring and old-fashioned even when it was launched in 1971. So why is it that it still attracts a following 21 years later?
As a club, we do preach that A, it's not a classic, and B, that yes, it has problems. It has terrible handling problems. We all know about the trunnions. Styling's not necessarily to anybody's liking either, but it's all part and parcel of the car, and we like the car for what it is, really.
More about those trunnions later. Despite the catalogue of deficiencies, some Marinas become family heirlooms.
We've had it since 1976, so I've learnt to drive in it and wouldn't part with it for the world.
Some people are really rude about Marinas, you know.
Yeah, well, I put up with that, but most people who I've worked with have come round eventually and sort of conceded that, oh, yeah, well, it is a nice old car.
The last Marinas made were called Itals, and this one won the day's coveted Concorde d'Elegance. The loving rebuild, including the rather natty head restraint cosies, cost under £1,000, but restoration can be less orthodox. This one's quite an interesting colour scheme. It looks as though it's been painted with underseal, has it?
No, I painted it with smooth white hammer because I like black and I couldn't afford to actually get it sprayed up professionally, so I just brushed it.
Activities at these events are rather low-key. They're family affairs with the chance to compare notes, swap marina-belia and discover a few trade secrets. So what have you learnt today?
Well, different things about the doors.
Surprising if you look round, the number of combinations of doors, where they drop the quarter light and stuff like that, the year where it changes. And I mean, we've had problems with our window mechanism, and somebody's put us on the right track today, which will save me chasing British Leyland garages all over the country.
Of course, with any owners' club, there's a lot of associated paraphernalia, and Marina owners are no different. There's an umbrella, a T-shirt, and, of course, a newsletter. There are articles in here telling you how to take a Marina to pieces and put it back together again, and there are cars for sale. The prices aren't as daunting as many other owner clubs. You can get one for £100 and another for £250. And there's advice on that dreaded Marina ailment, trunnion trouble. Although it's not terminal, trunnion trouble can be dangerous, as the part's a weak link in the front suspension, which can affect the steering. The Marina had a problem from the day it was launched. The press, as usual, were jetted out to some exotic location in the south of France, but even that didn't manage to convince them. They all hot-footed it back to Britain, compared notes on the appalling handling, and took the unprecedented step of sending a delegation to British Leyland, telling them that they should alter the suspension before they wrote the reports. Some modifications were made, but the contraption left a lot to be desired when confronted by a corner. And it's still just as hard stopping today. Surprising, then, that it achieved considerable success in rallying, albeit in heavily modified form. In 1973, it reached the dizzy heights of a class win in Finland's Thousand Lakes, driven by Top Works driver Brian Kulcheth.
The standard car had the sort of power that when you pressed the accelerator, you're never sure if the cable had broken or not. But the works put 4 carburetors on the 1300 car, and it made it very competitive. The main work needed to go into the suspension, which in standard form, anything over 50 was pretty hairy. But to get a sort of class win in something like the Thousand Lakes says very much about the car's handling, because the Thousand Lakes is the fastest forest rally in the world.
At this event, Brian was highly occupied, giving consultations to owners who seemed anxious to pick up a few Marina tuning tips. During the afternoon, some Austin Allegros invaded the proceedings. It's amazing what a following some of these old family cars are acquiring, along with the degree of healthy rivalry between the models.
I wouldn't dream of owning a marina, to be quite honest with you.
Why?
I think they're really square and they've not got any style to them at all. Compared with the Allegro, no comparison at all.
It looks in good nick. Have you done a lot to it?
Not really. It was an elderly gentleman that had it before me, so it was like this when I've had it. I've polished it up since, obviously, and touched it up in places, but this is how it was.
But did he have the racing steering wheel?
Oh, no, that's my little touch, that is.
The Allegro trio left in disgust, but there was another Austin present. In the lazy, hazy days of British Leyland and their confusion over branding, the Marina was sent to America, where it was called an Austin. The Austin Marina had bigger bumpers, orange lights, a few styling variations, and to add to the general confusion, a Ford back axle. Very few of them found their way out there, but this one found its way back. And as far as the Marina Owners Club is concerned, it's a much sought-after rarity, I can tell you. With more than 1 million marinas made, it's not surprising that there are a few radical variations on the theme. One of the most bizarre was this Suntour Caravanette. It had all mod cons, a cooker, a sink and a wardrobe, and could house 3 people happily. But even for somebody my height, it's pretty claustrophobic. For more space, try a tent extension. Or, for real fresh air fanatics, a marina-based kit car no less. One thing's for sure, if marinas get this treatment, it won't be long before there are clubs for the likes of Sierras, Maestros and Montegos. Well, cabriolets are all the rage these days, and not to be outdone, I've got one. This is the Mumford Marina. About 70 of them were made, very few of them are left. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy my summer holidays, so we'll see you in the autumn. Cheerio!
We're back with a fun-filled news series in the autumn.